Hello, welcome to our Practice Indie Donation Yoga Flow. We're going to get started in a few minutes, but normally um, with our donation yoga, so definitely social justice advocates, we believe in the power of conscious choice in our communities, but especially in this time of very wildly varying unknown, we would like to invite you to donate to a cause that is in alignment for you. So rather than giving to any singular cause, we invite you to invest in something that's meaningful for you. And so we'd love to know in the chat where you will be donating, if that serves you, or how you are in service to the world right now. And that can be in very simple ways and also very dedicated, kind of universally expressive ways. There's lots of ways to give. For our flow today, you will need 2 blocks or a couple of books. Hint, hint, Harry Potter versions 4 and 5 are helpful as block replacements. You'll also need a strap, and you can also use a towel if you don't have a strap. And so feel free to get some things settled. And it looks like we've got a couple folks on. I'd love for you to just share if you can hear me okay, if everything's going well. And perhaps if you have any intentions for the practice today or any requests, we can certainly take those as well. So let's, I just muted myself and unmuted myself. Sorry, we're getting used to all the things. So beautiful. I'm going to assume that everyone can hear me because I have not seen anything in the chat. And as you come into our practice today, it looks like we've got 1 more minute until we begin. So I'm just going to invite you all to settle in. You'll need a couple of blocks or some books and a strap or a towel as we go today. We would love to know, since this is a community flow, everything sounds good, fantastic. Thank you so much, Betsy. Hey, Dre. Yes, Queen. I'm so glad you're here. So welcome to our donation yoga. For Practice Indie, we do this every Sunday at 5 o'clock. And it's a different, there's no standard format, but it is an all levels class community vinyasa flow. And usually every quarter we donate to a different charity or goodwill space. And in this case, since everyone is kind of in their own spaces and everyone has a wildly varying experience in this moment, we're just simply going to invite you to donate to something or invest, share your resources with something meaningful for you in this moment. So we'd love to know if and how you are in service to something beyond yourself. You can feel free to share that in the chat. If there are any great causes that you know about, feel free to also share them in case others want some ideas. So you're welcome to share all of that. So welcome, you beautiful humans. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to invite you to come to a seated position. As I shared earlier, and you may or may not have seen that, but or heard that, but you'll need 2 blocks and a strap for our practice today. You can also use some books, some large books, if you don't have specific yoga blocks, or you can use a towel in place of the strap if you have those. I did drop the playlist link in the description. Feel free to hit me up if you need me to post it in the chat as well. And we can go from there. Now would be the time to hit play. If you do want music, you can feel free to take the music that's offered you or not, just to avoid copyright issues and also because it further complicates technology, and often these things have a background eliminating filter. So we don't play music in the background, but you'll hear my cueing and I'll direct you through the whole class. And for those of you that may not know me, my name is Karen Kirchner. I'm one of our mermaid teachers here, and I'm very honored and privileged to be here with you for this class. So making sure you've got all the things you need, feeling free to make yourself comfortable, adding some music if you like, and then bringing yourself to seated on your mat. I invite you to perhaps bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, and begin to connect to that deeper, wider center of being within you. To simply connect to the wholeness that you are, allowing the eyes to close or the gaze to soften. Begin to breathe in and begin to let your awareness and attention rest on the sensations of your breath. With each inhalation, inviting the breath deeply and fully into the body, letting yourself open and expand. With each exhalation, allowing yourself to release and let go, to simply settle into the support of your seat, of your body, of your being. Letting yourself be held right here in this moment, right here in this breath. With each inhalation, inviting the breath really deep into the body, breathing into the low belly, into the pelvic bowl, letting the lungs and chest be filled. And as you exhale, simply returning the breath beyond you. I invite you to feel and experience 3 really deep, full breaths right where you are. And as you come to the bottom of the wave of your third breath, releasing the hands down by your sides, we're going to take the opportunity to really move with the flow of our breath. So often, as we move through our day-to-day lives, we have a tendency to breathe really shallowly in the body to become disconnected from our whole self. So the invitation here is to simply notice how it feels to breathe and be in your body, and to let those two things be connected, to let the flow of the breath, the rhythm of the heartbeat, and movement be in union with each other. So bringing your hands out to either side. As you inhale, flipping your palms up to the sky with intention, following the arc of your breath, eventually bringing your hands to meet overhead. Trying to let the breath and your movement be as slow and intentional as possible. As you exhale, flipping the palms back towards the earth, begin to follow the wave of your breath in this direction. Moving through several rounds of breath here. Let the intention be to let this be long and luxurious. To move with intention and purpose. To feel your fullness. Feeling through one more round of breath here. Beautiful. Taking the opportunity to do a few shoulder rolls. Inhale, bring the tops of the shoulders towards the ear, then rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Do that 2 more times. Then switch directions. Releasing that movement. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. As you exhale, begin to twist towards the right. As the left hand finds the right knee, right hand plants behind you. Finding the depth in your spine first, then bringing it into the cervical spine, into the neck, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale fully. Exhale, release back to center. Inhale, extending the arms up overhead. As you exhale, twisting to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee, left hand comes behind the spine. Softening in the jaw. Opening the chest. Inhale fully and deeply. As you exhale, releasing back to center. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. As you exhale, simply folding forward over your legs. With each inhale, growing tall through the spine. As you exhale, feeling into that depth as you have more spaciousness beyond the breath. Inhale, coming back to center. Switch the cross of your legs. So whichever way you were before, just feel free to switch it. And then again, inhale, extending the arms up overhead. As you exhale, twisting to the right. Feeling from the tailbone through to the crown of the head. Letting the breath continue to be full and deep. As you exhale, coming back through center. Inhale, extending the arms up overhead. As you exhale, twisting to the left. Exhale, releasing back to center. Inhale, extending arms up overhead. As you exhale, folding forward. Breathing in fully, pausing at the top of the breath. Sipping in even deeper, exhale, side off the mouth. As you inhale, coming back to center. This time we're going to extend your legs out wide. Feel free to point through the toes and bend through the ankle, just opening up the feet. Then bring the left sole of the foot in. So we're going to make this check mark space with the legs. Inhale, extending the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bringing right arm inside the right leg. Extending left fingertips up overhead, bending to the left, to the right. Continuing to shine the heart towards the sky. As you exhale, coming back through center. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, folding forward. Noticing that sensation shift to the inner groin. Flexing through that right foot. Inhale, the spine goes long. Exhale, taking it as deep as you like. And then coming back through to center. Extending both legs out in front of you, rocking through the knees. Then bringing the right foot in, the left foot goes back out. Taking this to the other side. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. As you exhale, left arm inside the left leg. Right arm, right fingertips extend up and over. Inhale, reach. Exhale, coming back through center. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, folding forward. Feeling the sensation shift. Feeling how it's the same or how it's different than the other side. No need to judge or label, just being curious. Coming back through center. We're going to move to a tabletop position. So helping your legs cross. You can come up and over the knees. Feeling free to shift anything out if you were sitting on anything as I was. So you do not need any support beneath your knees. But if you're like me and your knees tend to be a little on the sensitive side, you may want a blanket or a towel underneath them just to give yourself a little extra cushion. And I'll just keep it there through the whole practice. That's generally a prop that I use for my body. Again, feel free, yogi's choice, to use it or not. If you have your two blocks or books, you want to set them towards the front corners of your mat. And your strap, you can just make sure to unravel it or to have your towel handy nearby. And you can just let it come to the right side of your mat for the time being. That'll come in later in the practice. So making sure that you have a supportive space in front of you. You're going to plant your palms underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And we're going to begin with 3 rounds of cat-cow. So on the inhalation, drop the belly, lift the gaze. As you exhale, press and round through the shoulders. Inhale, tailbone, crown of the head, go to the sky, broadening through the collarbones. As you exhale, hollowing through the belly, tucking the tailbone. Following your flow of breath. Then we're going to move this into a little bit of a flow. So, bringing the hips back towards your heels, we're coming into this sort of short child's pose stance. As you inhale, you're going to bring your chest forward, bringing that belly towards the ground. As you exhale, you're going to press and round through the shoulders, bringing the hips back to your heels. So we're creating that cat-cow flow, moving the spine in those shapes, using those emphasis points, but creating this little undulating flow. You can also feel free to add in any other movements that would allow this practice to feel in alignment for you. 2 more rounds of breath here. Then coming back to that tabletop position, you're going to tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, coming to your first downward dog. So we're going to take the opportunity here to really pedal out through the feet. So you're going to bend through the right knee, let the left heel go long towards the mat, and then switch. Let that right leg go long, bending through the left. Walking the feet out, feeling into the length of your hips. And then really allow yourself to bring your hips towards the back of the room to create extension through your torso. Taking one more deep full inhalation. As you exhale, gaze comes forward as you begin to tiptoe forward, planting your feet behind your hands, coming to a forward fold. Inhale, hands come to plant to the shins as you extend through the spine, flattening through the back, shining the chest forward. Exhale, micro bend through those knees, forward fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms come to connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Taking a moment here to really connect into center, to feel your feet rooted on your mat. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands flow through heart center, bowing forward, forward fold. Inhale, coming to that halfway lift, really growing from tailbone through crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Planting the palms, stepping the right foot back, coming to Anjaneyasana, low lunge. You're going to ground the back knee, untuck the back toes. Squaring your hips to the front of your mat, really coming into that 90-degree bend in the left leg. Inhale, as you're ready, extending arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, hands come clasp at the low back, drawing down through the hands, opening through the chest. Breathe. As you exhale, releasing the bind, framing the front foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back knees, step back, plank pose. Inhale, finding strength. As you exhale, finding your way to the mat, maybe bringing your knees down to help support you. Inhale, lifting head, chest, and heart. As you exhale, tuck the toes, bring that through a tabletop, bring those hips into your downward dog. Letting yourself reconnect to your breath. Inhale fully. As you exhale, coming to forward fold, maybe taking larger steps, maybe beginning to leap. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come through heart center, bow forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the left foot back, setting up for Anjaneyasana on the other side. Set up your foundations first. Find your connection points with your mat. Then get yourself into your hips, slight tuck of that tailbone to really engage the lower body. Inhale, growing tall through the spine, through the fingers. As you exhale, hands come to clasp, opposite thumb on top this time. Opening through the chest, shining the heart forward, gaze lifts towards the sky. Exhale, releasing that bind, framing your front foot. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, step back, plank pose. Moving through your vinyasa, finding your way to the ground. Lifting head, chest, and heart. Sliding the shoulder blades down and back. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back, down dog. Breathe. Maybe pedaling out through the feet once again. More deep inhale as you exhale, finding your way to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands go through, heart center, bow, forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, stepping the right foot back. Anjaneyasana on that right side once again. Bringing those hips through. Inhale, extending the arms overhead. As you exhale, hands plant inside the left foot. Begin to heel toe out that left foot so that your foot comes to 45 degrees, heel still on the mat, toes might be off. Bring those hips forward. So we're setting up for a version of lizard. It's a very deep hip opener. You may want to stay here if this is super challenging, but if you'd like to take this a little deeper and get deeper in the hips, keep that palm planted underneath the right shoulder. Left hand comes to the left knee. Twist open to the left. Continuing to let the breath be full and deep, opening you through the hips. As you exhale, coming back to center, easing slightly out of the hips. Heel toe that left foot back in, maybe grabbing your blocks or simply framing the left foot on both sides. We're going to play with a little flow here. So I like to have my blocks for this. You may want to scoot your left foot out just a little further forward. And we're going to straighten through that left leg, bending, flexing through that left foot, coming into a half split. Feeling through 2 rounds of breath here, letting those hips be very square to the front of your mat. Then inhaling fully. As you exhale, you're going to bend through that left leg again, coming into that lunge. As you inhale, you come straight once again. Following the breath. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, straight. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, straight. Exhale, coming forward, staying in that low lunge. Move your blocks out of the way. Frame that front foot. Stepping back to plank pose. Again, moving through your vinyasa. Feel free to keep the knees lifted or bring the knees to the mat, lowering with control. Inhale with the head, chest, and heart. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale fully. Really bend through those knees. Bring the low belly to the thighs. Tailbone goes to the back of the room. As you exhale, gaze comes forward. Finding your way forward, whether you want to step or begin to hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands flow through, heart center, bow forward, forward, fold. Inhale, straightening through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Planting the hands, stepping the left foot back, coming to low lunge on the other side. Setting up through those hips. Inhale, extending the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, planting the hands inside that right foot, heel toe that right foot to the right edge of your mat. Those hips extra deep. Again, you can stay here if this is your edge. Or you can make sure that left palm's underneath left shoulder, right hand comes to the right knee. Extend the chest open towards the right side, maybe even beginning to twist towards the sky. More deep round of breath here. As you exhale, twisting back towards your mat. Lighten through the hips. Slightly come out of the depth of that posture so you can heel toe, realign that right foot. Feeling free to come to your blocks if you like. Straightening through that right leg, squaring those hips. Coming to that half split. And just breathing into the long edge of your right leg. Noticing the sensation. Letting yourself meet yourself right where you are. As you exhale, bending through, coming to that lunge. Inhale, straightening. Exhale, bending. Inhale, extending. Exhale, hips come forward. Inhale, hips go back. Exhale, keeping that lunge. Feeling free to move the blocks out from either side. Framing that foot, stepping back, plank pose. Inhale for strength, rooting in, pulling the low to the spine as you exhale, lowering to the ground. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Inhale fully. As you exhale, making your way to forward fold, be playing on your way there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take the opportunity here to soften the gaze or close the eyes. Bringing one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Once again, allowing yourself to connect to the wave of your breath, the rhythm and the presence of your heartbeat. To connect to any intention you have for your practice, for your life, for your breath in this moment. And to know that as you claim it, as you connect to it right here and now, so it is. Fluttering the eyes open, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands come to heart center, keeping the torso lifted. Take a big step back with the right foot, coming to crescent lunge. So, pressing through that right heel, bending deeply through the left knee. As you're ready, inhale, extending the arms overhead. Slight tuck of the tailbone to really engage the low body to realign the spine. As you exhale, hands come down either to the blocks or to the mat in front of you as you kick up with the right foot, standing splits, keeping those hips square to each other. We have a tendency to start opening the hip because we want that aesthetic. We want the leg to go really high, but what we really want is integrity and alignment. As you exhale, the right foot comes down towards the middle of your mat this time, so a shorter stance. And we're going to bring those blocks back under the arms or simply adjust our hands back. Inhale, find the square your hips towards the front of your mat. Lengthen through your spine, straightening through your legs, keeping a micro bend in both knees so you don't overextend. And as you're ready, folding over, coming into pyramid pose. So once again, we feel this really in that left hamstring. We allow ourselves to find length and expansion in the body right where we are. Inhale fully. As you exhale, set your blocks towards the back. Take a bigger step back with that right foot, grounding the back heel, bringing that back foot to 45 degrees, then raising the torso, coming into a warrior one. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. So this is very similar to that crescent lunge, but we're going to ground that back heel, keep that tailbone slightly tucked. As you exhale, hands come to your low back, fingers pointing down towards the ground, and begin to pull the elbows towards one another, opening through the chest. Creating a slight back bend if you like, if that's comfortable for your low back. As you exhale, releasing that bind, coming to frame the front foot, stepping forward into a forward fold. Now heel toe out those feet just a little wider than your shoulders, letting the toes point out to the front corners of the room. Sink those hips down, coming into Malasana Yogi Squat. So as you find yourself here, let this first one be playful. In fact, I'll turn towards all of you. So maybe you begin to shift from side to side, really feeling into the hips. Keep your shoulders in integrity. So sliding the shoulder blades down the back, broadening through the collarbone. You have a tendency to start to go concave into the posture. We also have a tendency to press our legs apart with our arms. I'm going to invite you instead to really engage your outer glutes to create that spaciousness. So to come into it from a place of strength rather than striving. And again, maybe you want to let yourself play from side to side here. Just noticing how your hips feel and what you need. Then as you're ready, planting the palms in front of you, either step back or jump back plank pose. Then lowering yourself down to your belly. Let your palms come out to either side, palms facing the earth, pointing through the toes. Inhale, lift your head and heart. Exhale, coming back to the mat. Inhale, lift your head, chest, arms float off the ground. Exhale, finding your way back. Inhale, lifting your torso, extending your legs, lift. Coming into full locust pose. Exhale, releasing. Bring your hands to cross underneath your forehead. Let your forehead rest for one round of breath here. On your next exhale, planting your palms underneath your shoulders, tucking your toes. Lift your hips up and back towards your heels, coming into a child's pose. Feel free to let your knees go wide if you like. Melting your heart towards the earth. And for 3 rounds of breath, just let yourself be as you are, right where you are. Keeping that breath full and deep. On that final exhalation, coming back to that tabletop position. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. One inhalation to fill the body. As you exhale, step or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale to find strength. As you exhale, step back with the left foot this time. Coming into that crescent lunge, pressing through the left heel, slight tuck of that tailbone. As you exhale, framing that front foot, coming to your blocks if you need it, picking up with the left foot, standing splits. As you exhale, the left foot comes down towards the middle of your mat. And we're going to extend through the spine first, keeping those hips square as you exhale, folding over that right leg. Inhale fully. As you exhale, setting your blocks aside, stepping back with the left foot, grounding the left heel, coming to a warrior one. It's like tuck of that tailbone to really engage the core. As you exhale, hands flutter around to the sacrum, elbows track towards each other. Opening, feeling free to come into the depth of a back bend if you like. Checking to see if you come out of the bend in that right foot. Exhale, releasing. Coming to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Heel toe those feet just a little bit wider, toes point out, sink those hips down, Malasana, yogi squat. This time, I'm going to invite you to engage those outer glutes, create really lovely space between the legs. Plant the left palm on the earth, extend right fingertips up to the sky. Twist. Exhale, floating that right hand back to the earth, planting it under the face, extending left fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, releasing back. Planting both hands, step back or hop back, coming into a plank pose. Inhale for strength, exhale, lowering to the ground. Bring your palms to plant at your sides. Slight tuck of the chin to really grow long through the spine. Inhale, lift your head and heart. Exhale, releasing back to the earth. Inhale, lifting your torso, your arms. Exhale, floating back to the ground. Inhale, coming to that full focus. Exhale, releasing back. Bring your arms out in front of you. One hand stacks on the other, resting your forehead. And do your palms under your shoulders. Slightly tuck your toes. Bring your hips up and back, coming to a child's pose. Letting yourself receive, letting your palms flip up towards the sky, releasing through the wrists. Next exhale brings you back to that tabletop position. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale fully. Exhale, making your way to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Checking in once again. Connecting to the flow of your breath, the presence of your intention and purpose. On your next exhale, taking a big step back with that right foot, crescent lunge. Inhale, fully extending the arms towards the sky. As you exhale, arms come out to either side, then bringing them forward. Right arm comes under, left arm coming into eagle arms. Inhale here. As you exhale, raising the arms and the chest. As you exhale, releasing that bind, framing your front foot, kicking up, standing splits. As you exhale, stepping that right foot forward. You can stay with that traditional pyramid pose, coming down over that left leg. Or if you want to take this deeper, you can bring the arms to bind, whether you clasp the hands, maybe one wrist grabs the other wrist, or you can come to a full reverse prayer hands. So finding your level of depth here, growing through the spine as you exhale, folding over that left leg. Exhale, releasing the bind, setting the blocks aside. Take a further step back with that right foot, warrior one. Grounding that back heel, tucking the tailbone. As you exhale, hands come to clasp at the low back, drawing down through the hands, opening through the chest. Inhale fully. As you exhale, lower head and chest inside the left leg, humble warrior. Inhale fully. Exhale, releasing the bind, framing that front foot, stepping the right foot forward, forward fold. Heel toe out, those feet just a little wider, sink those hips down, Malasana. Yogi's choice here. If you want to just continue to feel into your hips, or you can play with some crow set up here. Let yourself breathe. More deep, full inhale. As you exhale, coming back to your mat if you're playing. And then feel free to step or hop back, coming to plank pose. As you exhale, lowering to your belly. So I'm going to invite you to come up to Sphinx pose. So planting your elbows underneath your shoulders. Palms come out in front of you. Forearms press into the earth. Again, if you're feeling any tension in that low back, the sacrum, do a slight tuck of the tailbone to really create extension at the low back. And then begin to bend deeply through the right leg. Begin to come onto the left arm, bringing the right arm around to grab the right foot. And if that's not accessible for you, you can grab your strap. That's why it's here. Bring it around the right foot. Coming back. Now, before we go further into this, make sure that your right knee is pointing directly to the back of your mat. We have a tendency to bring that knee out. And so opening, you're going to press the right foot into your hand or into the strap, coming into a half bow, opening through your chest, opening through your quad. As you exhale, gently release that bind and that leg. Planting the palms underneath your shoulders, bringing the hips up and back, coming to a child's pose. Letting yourself connect here. Letting yourself notice the textures and contours within you. Letting yourself be as you are. On your next exhale, coming back to that tabletop position. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, coming into that downward dog. Inhale, fully finding length. As you exhale, coming forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a step back with that left foot, crescent lunge. Inhale here, extending the fingers towards the sky. As you exhale, hands come out to either side. Then begin to cross the arms left under right this time, coming into those eagle arms. Really bending through that right knee, raising the chest if you like. As you exhale, releasing, coming to your blocks or coming into that standing split, kick up with that left foot. Inhale fully. Exhale, planting that left foot, setting up for pyramid. You can take that standard pyramid or you can take a version of the bind if you like. If you are taking the bind and you have one arm or one hand on top, switch it to the other one. And then as you're ready, bending through the hips, inhale, extending through the spine. As you exhale, bending over that right foot. Releasing the bind. Stepping back through the left foot again, coming into warrior one. Inhale fully, tucking through the tailbone. As you exhale, hands come to clasp, opposite thumb on top this time. Inhale fully, broadening through the chest, through the heart. Exhale, humbling your warrior. Exhale, releasing the bind. Planting the palms, stepping the left foot forward, forward fold. Heel toe out, those feet wide, sink those hips down, Malasana. Again, feeling free to play with a crow setup if you like. That is in your practice. Or feeling free to twist if you like. Let this be a space of play and exploration, knowing there's no right or wrong. One more deep round of breath here. And as you're ready, planting the palms down on your mat. Step or hop back plank pose. And then allowing yourself to lower down to your mat. Setting up for half bow on the other side. If you used your strap to help you bind on the other side, feel free to set that up now. Oops. So, bring the right elbow under the right shoulder. Extending, pressing through that through the left foot. Opening through that chest. As you exhale, releasing that bind. Setting the strap aside. Planting the palms underneath the shoulders. Coming back to that child's pose. Letting yourself connect where you are. Feeling in breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. Let your next exhale bring you to that tabletop position. This time crossing the legs behind you and coming to seated. Face your direction here. So, extending your legs out in front of you. Flexing deeply through both your feet, meaning your toes point up to the sky and then begin to come back towards the knees. Going to bring the right foot up and over the left knee, planting it if you can, perhaps using a block if you need a little extra support. So inhale, grow tall through the spine, flexing through both feet. As you exhale, twisting towards the right, you can either hug that right knee in, or you can leverage that right knee, coming to open the chest if you like. I'm going to hug mine in. Inhaling fully, pausing at the top of the breath. Sipping in even deeper, exhale, deep sigh out the mouth. Releasing back through center, extending with both legs out in front of you, rocking through your knees. If you need that extra support, bring your block over to the other side. Bring that left foot over that right leg. Inhale, growing tall through the spine as you exhale, twisting to the left. Perhaps noting how this feels after having moved through your practice versus the seated twist we did at the beginning. Inhale fully through the nose, filling up. Sip in even deeper. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Coming back through center, rocking out through both legs. Then planting the soles of your feet on your mat. Begin to lower vertebrae by vertebrae down to your back. Having your strap or your towel handy. Inhale, hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little from side to side. Just feeling that sacrum connect to your mat. Bring the left sole of the foot back to the mat. Bring the right foot in and bring the strap around the arch of that right foot and extend it towards the sky. You can keep that left leg bent or you can extend that left leg long, yogi's choice. Now the point here is not to get your shin to your forehead, but to simply feel into that long line of your leg, to find your edge, and then to let yourself find some stillness and ease there. That dance of stability and challenge. And if you notice any areas of tension or constriction, simply invite the breath there. Our mind often thinks we need a much more extravagant strategy to meet any tension or activation we find in our tissues and our systems. And yet the breath and the heartbeat are powerful. A more deep, full inhalation. As you exhale, switch the strap into the right hand and extend the right foot out towards the right side. Your leg does not have to meet the earth. Mine is currently touching the wall. But even still, you'll see on the other side, it won't quite make it to the earth. And that's not the point. The point is to notice the sensation and the capacity of your body right where you are. One more deep, full inhalation. As you exhale, extending that leg back to the sky, switching the strap into the left hand, and then bring it over to the left just a few inches, maybe about 6 inches or a foot. Now we have a tendency to want to go into a full expression twist, but I want you to keep your hips rooted on your mat. Keep both hips square and supported, which means your leg's really only going to come a number of inches. And notice how that shifts the sensation. Just get curious about the sensation within you. Let this heartbeat, this breath be enough. On your next exhale, extending back up to the sky, bending through that right foot, unhooking that leg, hugging both knees in the chest. Rock a little from side to side. And then plant the right sole of the foot on the mat, bringing the strap around the arch of the left foot, extend the left foot up to the sky. Finding your edge here, keeping a little micro bend in that left knee so we're not overextending. Let yourself breathe here. Let yourself be as you are. And continue to let the breath be full and deep. Letting it be as easy as inhaling and exhaling. Your next exhale, switching the strap into the left hand, extend the left leg out to the left side. Again, keeping both your hips square to the mat. Noticing if that right hip starts to lift up and rooting it even deeper. Noticing the textures and contours within you. Inhaling fully. As you exhale, bringing that foot back up to the sky. Switching the strap to the right hand. Let it come to your edge towards the right. Again, keeping both your hips rooted into the mat. Noticing at what point you have that tendency to lift. Inhale fully. Exhale, coming back through center, bending through that left knee, setting the strap aside. Hug both knees into the chest. Rocking from side to side, just letting those hips be massaged on your mat. Then bring your knees towards your armpits, opening into a happy baby. Letting your hands grab either your ankles or the outer edges of your feet. It's kind of a reclined malasana of sorts. Feeling free to also let this be playful, maybe straightening through one leg than the other, maybe rocking from side to side or forward and back. Noticing what you need here. Letting yourself explore movement without judgment. Taking one more final inhale. As you exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Hugging the knees in. Feeling free to set up for a supported shavasana if you like. You can bring a blanket or a pillow or a bolster under the knees. You can bring some under the hips. You can also feel free to engage any other final postures that would allow this practice to feel like completion for you. And as you're ready, letting the arms come wide by your side. Extending the feet long, letting the feet splay open. And letting yourself rest in the flow of your breath, in the presence of your heartbeat. In this posture, we allow ourselves to release from the conscious efforting of the breath and the body. To give ourselves time to integrate, breathe, to be with ourselves as we are, and to know that we are more than enough right here, right now. With each breath, we can come to feel the fullness that we are. With each exhale, we allow ourselves to be as we are and to know that it is enough. To know that everything we need is within ourselves or within our reach, right where we are. I invite you to begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and just invite gentle movement back into the body. On your next exhalation, extend the arms up overhead, really feeling that spaciousness from the soles of the feet through the fingertips. On your next exhale, inviting the knees back into the chest, letting yourself rock from side to side, feeling that sacrum rooted to the earth. Then allowing yourself to fall over to a side of your choice, pausing there, breathing. In this posture of rebirth, we are reminded that we begin again in every breath, with sovereignty, with choice, with wholeness. With your next exhale, allow yourself to come to seated in whatever way serves you. Bringing palms to connect in front of the heart, left palm in union with right palm. Thumbs pressing into the sternum, sternum pressing into the thumbs. Slight tuck of your chin as you bow towards your heart. Let yourself feel and know that right here where you are, just as you are, is all that is required. And in fact, is also infinitely necessary. Connecting once again to that intention you have for your practice, for your life, for your breath, for your heartbeat. And remember that as you claim it, so it is. Namaste in its simplest form means the light in me honors and acknowledges the light in you. Bringing thumbs to third eye center between the eyebrows and the forehead, bowing forward to seal your practice. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Thank you so much for coming to practice with us. Thank you to all of you who jumped on board. Again, this is our donation yoga. We'll have this every Sunday at 5 o'clock. And in this time of immense change and unknown, we invite you to share your donation to a cause and to be in service to things that feel good for you, that feel in alignment and in resonance for you. So feel free to share those with us. We love to know the impact that happens within our community. But know you all have the freedom to invest your time and attention and resources in the way that serves you and serves in the way that you are meant to. So thank you all so much. We'll see you soon.